Today, I'm gonna be telling you the things that I would buy if I was looking to get into photography in 2025. Especially, this might apply even better if you're interested in fashion photography, which is what I mainly do. And if you wanna see more of my work, you can check it out right here. And if you enjoy this video, leave a subscribe, a like, and maybe the other videos will be helpful as well. Starting off the bat with things I would buy if I was starting out as a photographer in 2025. First would be a Canon 90D or something similar. Now, bear with me y'all, I say Canon 90D because it is a system that I'm familiar with. I am primarily a Canon user. I started with the T2i, so to be honest, I could have given you the option of maybe one of those T, whatever number they're on now, series, an even more beginner one. But I think the 90D, which is the intermediate level series of camera for Canon, is a better option because you'll probably outgrow the beginner intro level one a little too quick. With this one, you'll have a little bit more room to grow, more things to learn, more time where it'll be useful before having to upgrade to the next one, which maybe in Canon would be the 6D Mark II, I guess, or I guess taking the leap into more mirrorless or stuff like that. But I would suggest an intermediate level camera series in whatever brand you prefer. Number 2, a newer Vision Strobe battery powered, primarily the Vision 4. Again, they might be on Vision 5. I don't know what it is now, but from personal experience and use, I've had 2 Vision 4s. It's great because it's very inexpensive. I think they go for like 269 bucks on Amazon. They have a hand holding thing and they're battery powered, so you can use them outside as well as in the studio, on location, whatever it may be. But I just think overall, when you're starting out, you get a little bit too caught up in your head about, what light should I buy, yada yada. Should I get a Pro Photo? Should I get a Godox? And at the end of the day, you just end up not buying anything because you don't want to buy the wrong thing or buy a nonsensical product. And this will do what you need and at a good budget-friendly price. And just the most important thing is kind of learning lighting, learning how to experiment with it, how to get familiar with it, what different angles will do. And this newer Vision 4 will have everything you need. Number 3, a reflector. Now, this is kind of like, this is one of the most simple things you could have as a photographer. But in my opinion, the use of it just goes far and wide, and it'll help you understand lighting even more. I would recommend getting one of those reflectors that have like 5-in-1. I think it's like gold, white, diffused, black. At least like 3 of those. With this, you can start learning more about negative, about fill, about diffused lights. You can use it to bounce light in. You can use it for a variety of different things, and with the different ones that are included in it, they all have a different thing that they do. And this will also help you in getting familiar with more studio stuff and just, again, lighting in general. Number 4, you're gonna need a solid backpack for your gear. I would also recommend this not be something you skimp out on. You want to have something that's comfortable to carry, something that will have the needs of what you have to put in it, something that will ensure your equipment is pretty safe. You don't want to just throw everything into a normal backpack. And even a more plus if it has like some waterproofing situation to it. The backpack that I use is great, and it's not the typical backpack situation. I'll show you what I use. Give me a sec. So what I do, and again, it's not like the typical way, but I'll have this, right? It came with my camera, but it's a solid holder for stuff. And what I'll do is I'll put it inside of my Filson waterproof backpack. And that for me is the best. Or what I can also do is grab one of those camera backpacks that have a lot of different slots with dividers in them and put it inside of a carry-on luggage. And that not only helps when you're on the road, but also to take it from job to job and just have it all a little easier. You can pack more stuff, you have wheels on it. Number 5, you're gonna need a hard drive, an external hard drive if you're gonna start working for real, because you're gonna want to back up your files, you're gonna want to save your files, you're gonna save your raws, and the importance in doing that may come up in another video. If you're curious about this stuff as to why you should save your raws versus just saving JPEGs, and like the actual point of like archiving your work and stuff like that for the future, then leave me know in a comment and I can make a video on that. But it will pay off if you do, and it's worth it. The best hard drive that you can get is the Samsung T7 Shield. It's the best one that I can vouch for it. Everything else, the Lacy's used to be good and the best option because they were more durable, but the what's it called, the jack, the slot was always janky. They were always connecting, disconnecting. The ones that were from, what is it, these right here, I forgot the name, but I'll remember for putting the picture. These right here were good for like a year, and then it turns out that they had issues all across the board with like overheating. Mine almost blew up, it like inflated. It was a whole thing, so I don't recommend those, even though you see them everywhere. The T7 Shields are the best, hands down. They're durable, they're solid, and no connection issues. Not sponsored, I wish they were there, though I'm telling you truthfully what I think with experience. And on top of that, you're gonna want to get this. You're gonna want to get this. It's a pouch that goes in the back of your laptop. It keeps it nice solid, they fit in perfectly, and you can work on the go with no problems, because you know you don't want your hard drive connecting and disconnecting. That's like a big problem. And dude, if you lose your storage, getting it back is not cheap. It's not cheap, dog. I can't emphasize that enough. So get yourself one of these. And yo, this all being said, I'll link everything below in the description. Support your boy with these Amazon affiliate links. I always forget to do it, but this video you'll have things that are actually worth it. Dude, on this topic, honestly, like, you guys should buy this too. I bought this on Amazon, and it's like I take it everywhere. This, how could I forget? It's my SD card organizer, but y'all know I live on the road and stuff a lot, and this is solid. Like, look, I keep them in here, super solid, necessary for me. You might not need it yet, but you'll probably need it. I'll link all this stuff that I talk about in the description. And these are things, again, that I'm vouching because I use them. I really, you know, there's a reason. I'm not just saying it. Nobody's sponsoring this video. I would recommend getting a desk, a work desk, somewhere you can set up, somewhere you can edit, somewhere you can watch your YouTube videos to learn a lot of this stuff, learn a lot of techniques, learn everything, but you need somewhere to set up. You need some type of working desk. And just to be organized, you're not gonna be in bed all day, like, it gets uncomfortable, it's not productive. Try to get yourself a desk, or I know, you know, some of us live in pretty tight apartments, especially in the big cities and all that, but you can, like, if you can, it'd be best. If not, maybe, you know, go work at Starbucks, whatever like that, any place you can find, but a desk is important. Next, a 50 prime. Dude, this light keeps changing and it's really starting to bother me, eh? And my chair keeps squeaking. What's up with that? Jeez Louise. If you're a new viewer, I hope I'm not turning you off with these all these little things going on. Hopefully it's not taken away from the watching experience. But anyways, back. Next thing, you're gonna want a nifty 50. If you don't know about this term, the nifty 50 is what you call a 50mm lens. They have them in 1.8, which is usually the nifty 50, and it's cheap. It's like also like $50. You can find them on Craigslist, all that, Facebook Marketplace. Then they have the 1.4, which is even better, but it's around like maybe like $300. And then you have the 1.2, which is the best, the L lens. And that's the one I have. But that's because, you know, now I need it. But I started from the beginning with them. And I would probably even say jump to the 1.4. The 1.8's like alright, but any you can get out of those is a good starting point. The 50mm is a great all-around lens. You can familiarize yourself with a prime lens. That's a lens that don't have zooms to them. That way, you know, you can utilize a lot of your body, a lot of angling, get comfortable with shooting from different angles, different distances, and not just letting the lens do all the work. They're also a great lens for editorial stuff. They're a great lens for portraits. That just like all around, it's probably the lens you're gonna want to go with while you're trying to figure out what lens to start with. This is it. Next, you need to get yourself some sort of stand. I recommend a C stand. A C stand is the industry standard. You're gonna be coming across C stands a lot and you're gonna be confused. That's why I recommend you get a C stand now, because you need to get comfortable setting it up, breaking it down, using the arm, where it goes, mounting a light. And if you're on set, you're usually on set with them, and it's like you need to know what you're doing before you get on set. So I really recommend getting one prior. They're a little expensive. They're not super expensive. You could probably get them online for cheap. And just like, again, really hands-on, get the movements going, understand how to use it. And this, it's the little things that set you apart as a photographer or make you better or worse. It's not always just the quality of work. And you're gonna wanna know how to use a C-stand. It's like the building block of like all setups and everything, basically. And usually it's like the Michael C-stand is the main one, but any C-stand really will do. Newer also has good C-stands. Now, for the next one, it's gonna be broken down in two parts, because it's gonna be either a cart if you have a studio or like a selected shooting area, or a wagon if you don't, but you're still gonna be going from shoot to shoot, because a wagon will help you carry all your equipment. Now, if you have C-stand, stuff like that, the weight starts to add up, especially if you're a one-man team. And the wagon is gonna come in handy in carrying all this stuff. I mean, if you're lucky enough to have a car, you know, you're a little bit of a step ahead, but this will still help in certain situations. And if you have a set up space that you usually shoot in, and having a roller cart will be magnificent, because you can have your computer set up, you know, the tether, which the industry standard is the Tether Tools Pro one. And honestly, like, it's the industry standard, but I've found using it with my R5, the ones for R5 are thick and they're heavy. So it's constantly like disconnecting from my camera, which really cuts into my workflow. So I don't even know if I want to recommend this to you right now while I'm like seeing what's better, but they are the industry standard, and it worked better when I was using it for my 6Z Mark II, because it was a lot thinner and like lighter, but this one just keeps disconnecting, man, and it's like an issue. But it's Tether Tools Pro. Again, I don't know if I recommend it personally, but it is the industry standard, so what are you gonna do for now, you know? And then next, the next and final thing I'm gonna recommend you, and that's gonna be, dude, get a website. You wanna have somewhere where you can like display your work. You're gonna want to have a good link of something that you can show people when they're curious about booking you. And you know, yeah, theoretically Instagram is a new portfolio, but it helps and it just elevates you. It makes you more professional if you can incorporate a website. Mine is with Squarespace. I know you guys are used to after that saying like, oh, thank you for sponsoring, da 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 da. And no, this is me personally telling you. I mean, hopefully they sponsor it one day, these videos. But I use Squarespace and it's really nice and clean. Here's my website, and even nicer than my website, which I'll show you in a second, is my agency's website for me, because it's just a little bit more divided and has different categories and stuff. So usually if I'm like have to send it to somebody, I'll send them that to show them my work, because again, it has a little bit more, like it's a little bit more in categories and better organized. But again, it's just like, it's just good to have to show somebody your work versus saying like, oh, look at my Instagram. Like, you can do that, but you want to have a website too. And thanks again, y'all. You might not need a website at the moment you start, but you're gonna start thinking about it anyways. But thanks again, y'all. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, a comment, subscribe, and see y'all on the next one. Goodbye.